Hey, Zora here. It's early in the year, and it's a good time to start a new project. And for my project, I want to compose a new album, which is a set or a collection of songs that fit a common theme. So I'm here this morning, I'm having some green tea, and I'm just getting my thoughts together, making a short video to talk about how to get it started. To begin with, we want to think about some things and make some decisions that will help towards setting up some foundation for the song creation process or whatever your project is. And in this case, I want to do an album in a style that's more rhythm oriented but still has some complexity of synthesizer type instruments and not use as much sampled instruments as has been done on previous projects, but to have a more structured approach that will have set verses and bridges and be laid out to where I can put the lyrics in as I'm doing the music, or I could go back later and have things perhaps fall into place. So I've got an array of software, there's different hardware, there's different ways of having these things work together. But for this concept, it will be easy for me to just use my usual sequencing program and do a lot of the setup on screen. And then I can go back later and replace things. So to begin with, I want to make a template in my program, and I'm going to choose a few instrument types that I'm going to set up in each track. And I'll be previewing probably hundreds of different instruments later on. But just to start off with, I just want to pick some basic things that fit the idea of the type of sound that I'm trying to build. So let's go ahead and I'll bring up the program and we'll take a look at it and I'll talk about what those instruments are. So for the percussive instruments, it is possible to use a program where you have the whole kit on one track. I won't be doing that for this album. I'll have to designate its own group. And to begin with, I just want to put something down that's going to establish the timing signature and the style, whether it's like a freestyle beat or a 4/4. For the instruments, I'm going to start with a track of a synth pad, like a Juno Jupiter, that I can use to play around with some chord progressions. And I'm also going to want to drop in a basic waveform bass. And then later on, you can go back and tweak that for sound, or key the cutoff or the reso for effect. And then I'll also add something that's like a glass bell, or maybe just a piano, electric or acoustic, whatever sounds good for the song. It's all subject to change anyway, so we just want to get something laid out to be able to put something down quickly when the ideas come. And then I also want to have a rhythm guitar for this album, but I want this to be a key part of the sound for the project. So in order to really fully use this module, it's the Scarby Funk Guitarist is what I'm going to have to use here. It's obviously not like playing a guitar, but it's also not like playing a piano. And for this track, it's going to be a little more involved because I have to do some setup. You go into the program and you create your chord maps where you use the one hand to trigger the chords that you designate. And then for the other hand, you can play the riff variations. And you can do this live, but in the studio setting, it's going to be a lot easier. You've got that flexibility to set up the chord map and make changes to it also as you're going along. Another sample instrument that I'm going to want to have is a string section. And for that, I have chosen the viola string ensemble, which is based on a 60-piece orchestra section. The plan here is to have all this laid out and you have something to start with, a basic setup that I'll save as a template. Before I finish with this, I want to add in a special instrument that's called a yankin, which is a Chinese hammered dulcimer. It's an acoustic table type instrument. I can show a picture of it here. And here is the screen showing what the module interface looks like that I have to work with. And it really does have an amazing sound. I think it would make a really lovely main instrument for something, but I'm going to add this instrument into my template also so that I'll be able to add in some parts for this. And let's see if we can go ahead and listen to this. In any case, thanks for coming and have a good day.